Hello, and welcome to this edition of Guinea Pigs with Greg. This is a special one. This is one that's been much requested. This is a shed tour of our shed. It's been here for 15 years. It's getting quite old now. Probably needs a bit of a spruce up or maybe even replacing. So we're in the midst of winter and the shed's looking rather battered at the moment. It needs a lick of paint, which happens usually late spring. You see we've got plenty of ventilation to let the air move through but protect it from drafts. And we have a mesh door also to let air through. So yeah, this is our shed. It's home of the Bristol Stud, myself and my granddad forming the partnership. And we can't wait to show you around. So obviously I'm part of Bristol Stud and I share with my granddad and now my children. My granddad's been in the hobby since the early 1960s and his stud numbers used to be up around the 500s back in the 60s and 70s. We don't keep that many here now. We keep about 40 to 50 KVs at a time, not including youngsters which we're growing on. So we used to have two sheds. I used to have one at my granddad's house where we did all the breeding and I did all the showing and the training here at this shed. But my granddad unfortunately took ill a few years ago and was unable to look after the KVs anymore. So the decision was made to bring the whole stud back here. So it meant reducing the numbers down quite a bit from about 150 down to, like I say, the current numbers. And yeah, it seems to be working quite well. In the shed at the moment we have cresteds, teddies and also our usual stud of goldens. So I'm going to walk you through the shed. I'm going to show you some of the things that we do, some of the little bits that are a little bit different. So I'll show you what we feed and how we feed. Some of the cages you'll notice in the video don't have water bottles on. That's literally just for filming. I've left some of the water bottles on just to show you how we do mount them, but for filming it just causes an absolute glare on screen and you can't actually see in the cages very well. So on some of them I've actually taken the fronts off as well so you can have a little peek in. The cages are old and yeah, they are what they are, I'm afraid, but they will be being replaced in the near future hopefully. My downside is when we built the shed we actually built the cages into the shed, so it's not as easy as just taking them out and replacing them, which is a lesson that I've learned for the future, most definitely. So welcome to Bristol Stud. This is our shed and this is where the cages are kept. We have 25 cages and these cages are very light and airy. There's plenty of airspace in them, lots of place for the cages to run around. And the guinea pigs are really happy in there. I spend a lot of time in the shed, maybe 2 or 3 hours a day, and it's a nice place, relaxing place for me to go. Most of our cages are open fronted with mesh fronts and everything's removable so that we can gain access for cleaning. Like I say, the cages are quite old now and probably will need replacing in the future. You can see the guinea pigs are quite happy in there. We don't overcrowd them at all. We let youngsters run on and then take them away and wean them off in the other pens on the opposite side, in the white pens. We have our cutting table where we prepare the food, but we also keep our show box there and another show prep box. And we keep the cavers on there and train them from that point. We have a nice big hay box there. We keep the other bells in the other shed. And hay is a big part of our diet. We have a fridge in the shed. It's very difficult to keep clean. Everything white in the shed was a big mistake. But as you can see, it's fully stocked with veg and they get a full mix on a daily basis. The cavers always have access to plenty of fresh food and water. Lots of hay, ready grass and bran. But I'll run through the exact things that we feed on a daily basis later on in the video when you can see everything there. As you can see, the cavers are quite placid in there. They're not running around. They're used to me being in the shed. And spending time with your animals, it's a big thing. That's why we keep them. It's nice to have pets, but if you don't engage with them, you probably need to rethink why you've got them in the first place. But all of mine are very tame. So these pens on the opposite side, the open pens, tend to have sows that are littering. So you can see here we have a lot of baby teddies running around all over the place, or it's for sows that are ready to give birth. So we've got quite a few in the shed. I'll show you now what we use the two boxes on the feeding bench for. It's literally just for keeping the guinea pigs and getting them used to standing on the show table. So I leave them up here whilst I'm in the shed, completely attended. I'm always in the shed whilst they're up there. And it's just getting them used to noises and people walking around whilst they're on the show table. Sometimes I'll put them together to get them used to other cages next to them. But it's all about handling them and enjoying them. It's a good opportunity as well to assess their health and condition. And we start the training off very young, just to get them used to being handled and keeping them nice and calm and used to that show environment. But as you can see, even the little ones love standing, especially when you give them lots of attention and treats. And if you're a regular follower, you understand that we're now showing teddies. We've got a very strong stud of these now. Lots of young cavies coming on, so hopefully we'll have a nice show team out later in the year. But these are a new passion of mine that I found very appealing. Of course, we've still got our Self Goldens, and these are the mainstay in the shed. We have a fair few in the breeding pen at the moment, and we're hoping to emulate the quality of years gone by. This sow is particularly gorgeous, I find. And we also have a small number of golden cresteds. It just helps us at the shows to have a little bit of extra interest, especially in the coated section. And as in previous videos, we're on a bit of a quest this year to try and win a coated section. Storage in the shed is at a premium, so we put these boxes underneath the cages so we can house the different feeds that we need. One of the boxes we have bran, and this is a mainstay of their diet. They get this every day, and it's just like chips for guinea pigs. They love it. And then we have dengue grass or ready grass, whichever we can get hold of. We find this is a great substitute. Live in the city, we need plenty of grass on demand. Then we have our nuggets. Science Select is the nugget of choice at the moment. And I've been finding it very good, and they eat quite a lot of it. Carrots on a regular basis, so we cut them up into a big bowl, and then we hand them out to the cavies at a ratio of about 2 or 3 to 1. So they get plenty of carrots in the cage, and they love them. Plenty of vitamin C for them. Then we do our mix. The mix at the moment, this time of year, consists of celery, cabbage, quite a bit of cabbage to be honest, broccoli, great for iron, and they absolutely love it, the stalk as well. Lots of swede. A lot of people say guinea pigs don't like swede. Mine absolutely love it, but you can always substitute this for something else, maybe celeriac. And then give it a good mix up, get it all going so they get a nice variety in their cages. We add a touch of water to this, and then we feed that then to each cage. You can hear they go really loud for this. The guinea pigs are always squeaking away, and they know when they're being fed. That's one of my favourite times of the day actually, is to feed the guinea pigs, to see them interacting, eating. Always check for a little bit of dominant behaviour to make sure that everyone gets some food. As you can see here, they all go up, take a little piece and run away. Checking the health of your animals is very important, and for us that involves clipping nails, making sure they're nice and short. We don't want anything growing long and curling. They need to walk around nice and safe. The other thing we do is with the boars, we clean their grease glands. This isn't a nice job, it's a very smelly job in fact. We clean all around the genitalia using surgical spirits. We find that dries off very quickly and flashes off nicely, leaving the cavity clean and smelling good. I also check the pads of the feet to make sure there's no sores or blisters or anything, and to clean out any gunk between the toes. It's also very important to check the cavie's teeth. If you give them a good diet, they should keep themselves in check, but you never know when some are going to grow a bit longer. You may have to just take a quick trip to the vets to get them trimmed back. It's also a good chance to check for any sniffles and colds and any lice. So this is our show box. This is what we take to the shows with us, and inside is all the things we need to prepare the guinea pig at the show, and if anything goes wrong we've got lots of things in there on hand. So I'll just take you through what we keep in our show box, and as you see it doubles up as a show stand. We have lots of brushes, we have combs and brushes all over the place, so now we have to have different combs for our different breeds. We have a comb for the teddies, and then brushes on the left for the smooth coat varieties. So you want to take nail clippers with you because you never know when you're going to need them. But we have an array of tweezers. This is something I never thought I'd have in my life, but yeah, now I've got different tweezers for different times of grooming and different parts of the coat. Tweezers for the face in the middle, and then when we're doing guard hairs for the other two. Cotton wool buds and surgical spirit to clean up any greasy problems. We have some scissors just in case we need to cut anything out of the coat, which would render the cavity unshowable. And then we have some talcum powder just to clean up any wet mess.
Also take some backup ear labels and a pen. Always find that quite handy.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the shed tour. I've enjoyed having you around here. Hopefully you've picked up a few little hints and tips. And yeah, it'd be lovely to see pictures of your sheds. So please feel free to put some comments and pictures up on the Facebook page, and it'd be lovely to see them. Until next time, I'm Guinea Pig Greg. True, bye.